Hey guys, Damn World, Mr. Grey, Dandalf the Grey. I want to believe. I really do. As someone who's made debunking videos for a really bloody long time now, when it comes to UFOs, I go in there with an even more open mind than I do with the paranormal stuff. Way more open, because I want to believe. I want to believe, I really do. And I see a lot of stuff online all the time. Something I've been fascinated with since I was a kid. When I first watched the X-Files, I've gone over this many times. I had a massive crush on Gillian Anderson, but we won't go there now, will we? But the most recent one, which is interesting, because there's a lot of boo-ha-ha on whatever it is online about it, is the Manchester UFO. Now we're going to have a look at some stuff, and then we're going to go over some stuff. So the story is an account on Twitter called Captain Bigelow posted a couple of days ago a video from June of this year of a Manchester airport pilot, while he's taxiing down the runway, took a video of this orb in the sky. There is video of it panning up to the orb, then panning down back to the runway with two planes in front, taxiing ready to go to the runway to take off. Now, I've seen countless images posted on the internet over the last couple of days about this. The only video which exists is the one where he pans up towards the sky and back down. But there's photos which he says that the video was sent to him, which are these photos right here. Alright, so that's the first photo. That's a blurry photo for whatever reason. It actually looks like a sign by there, so we'll get to that now. That is the second photo, but I can't see nothing in this photo whatsoever. Now in this photo, he's really far away. The area right there is where the orb is supposed to be. No, I can't see nothing there. There's bollards there, there's signs there. And this is the video. You're going to look at that again. That's the only video which exists of that Manchester airport UFO. I'm saying UFO, UAP, whatever. That's the only video that exists on the... I've scoured the internet for so long now, it's starting to bug me. The orb is as round as my head. Right now, when it's in the sky, it looks like a standard floating balloon. It doesn't move, it's just sitting there. The only movement you see is with the bubbles on the screen of the cockpit and his parallaxing. That's the only movement you see because he's not steady with his hand when he's filming. Now the only images you'll see, not the only ones, but most of the images you'll see online about this orb are these ones. And if you look at it, it looks like it has three extended horn-like apertures on the top of the orb. It's roughly about 1 meter in diameter, and you know, people are saying, well, it's got to be real because there's the shadow right there. But there's a couple of things about this for a start. Now, first of all, this is AI upscaled. Every image you see with those horns are AI upscaled images. And what you've got to be careful with AI upscaling any image whatsoever, the AI will always add its own pixels where it thinks it should be. You know, if it's like a black pixel right here, judging by the way that black pixel is going, it should be another black pixel there, it should be a blue pixel, and it'll work out what it thinks the image should look like. That's the big problem with AI upscaling. You look at any AI upscaled photo compared to the original, there'll always be issues with that image. No matter how bloody crystal clear it looks, no matter how good it looks, there will be issues with that image because the AI is adding what it thinks should be there, judging by other photos it's been trained to look at. That's how AI upscaling works, right? So this image right here is an AI upscaled image with the horns and what have you. So that's someone who made a GIF, you know, of the difference in the original photo, but the other photo, can I stop that? That's the blurry photo, but you can't see nothing on there. That could be a sign, if you ask me, right? And there's also this image, which again is massively upscaled in AI, and AI is saying, oh, that's what it should look like. But that's the problem with all the photos I've seen of this supposed orb online. Now, if we go to the original photo That's the original. This is the original photo. Now, as you can see, even if you zoom in, obviously it's going to lose detail because it's not AI upscale, but this is the original photo. Yes, there's definitely a sphere there. There's no horns there, right? There's some light bouncing off the top, which we'll get to as well. And obviously the shadow of the sphere there. But there's a couple of issues with this photo again. There's the planes in the background. The person who took this photo is, I'm going to say, about 100, 150 feet away at a guess, right? Because when you see the original, you'll see what I mean. So if we look, it's on a cloudy day. It's on a very cloudy day in June in Manchester. You know, so June days usually go. And, you know, the metallic surfaces of these planes are not giving off any spotlights. And when I say spotlight, what I mean is, if you have a spherical object on a sunny day, the light from the sunshine, where there's no clouds, the light from the sunshine will give it a spotlight. It won't be like a perfect sphere of a spotlight, but there'll be an apex point of light on that spherical object. That's how light works. In this one, it has that. It has that shiny spherical apex of light on the side of it in this one, but you know, there's that. But then people are saying, well, it has to be real because it's casting a shadow. Another one, that's not a shadow, that right there. Right, so we can disregard that. That's not a shadow. That is a Fresnel effect. Supposedly, you know, if you were to look at an object from a distance, especially from this kind of distance, you'll get reflection of the object from the ground. That's not a shadow. That's a reflection of the object. Again, supposedly. There's a couple of issues with this image, right? Now, if you look at that, your first instinct is there's something not quite right about this image. That's your first instinct. And if that is your instinct, then I believe you will be right. So if this sphere, like they're saying, is 1 meter in diameter, the bottom of that sphere would not have such a dark and imposing shadow underneath it. Even if it's like a couple of inches away from that ground. At a rough guess, looking at that sphere to what it should be at the distance compared, you know, if that supposedly is the shadow or the reflection of the sphere, the darkness around there should be almost the same color as the side of the object, because you will always have environmental reflection on all kinds of surfaces. It doesn't have to be a mirror to be able to reflect light. Light bounces off everything. That's why you can see me right now. You got light bouncing off my big shiny head, off my clothes, my dark clothing. You know, you wouldn't be able to see this unless light was bouncing off my clothing. So if that sphere was actually physically there, you wouldn't have such a dark edge of shadow at such a small point on the sphere underneath. You would have more light reflecting off the floor, bouncing up to the sphere. You'll have ambient light bouncing up to the bottom of that sphere. It wouldn't be anywhere near as dark as that. Now, the planes in the background, they do have obviously some shadow in it, but they're a way much larger object. They're in the distance, I know, but those planes are bloody massive, as we know. They're airliners. So you do have some very small shading underneath the aircrafts. Whereas this one, it's very acute. Now, if something that small, like I said, they're estimating this to be 1 meter in diameter. If something was that small, no matter, even if it was sitting on the ground, the dark areas around that would not be so prominent. So this is what leads to me to think it's just added in post. What I believe has happened this, and no, I'm not 100% on this, I should say that, but this is my, you know, from someone who has almost 30 years of experience of design and manipulating videos and photos. It's just something I've done for about 30 odd years. That absolutely looks like it's added into me on my general expertise, because it looks completely out of place compared to everything else in this image. Now, like I said, it's not the best of images because this guy's taking a photo zoomed in. You're going to lose information in that photograph, unfortunately. This was very likely taken with a digital camera. It's not a film camera. If it was a film camera, you'd have a lot more detail. But digital cameras, be it the phone, be it the most expensive Sony AX, whatever the hell numbers after it, It's always digital information passed through the lens of the camera, processed by the CMOS chip. That's how digital cameras work, and it blasts out the information to an image. That's how digital works. But with digital, it's always going to have a processing effect with digital photos. Obviously, if you have the Hubble telescope or the James Webb telescope, that's different. You know, they're humongous cameras with millions of dollars behind them. That's different, right? But the cameras we use today, no matter how expensive they are, if they're digital, they're going to have some processing on the photograph, and it's going to have some digital artifact, and it's always going to have digital artifact, especially if you zoom in. So again, this one, you see everything there. You also have the atmosphere to contend with a photograph. As you can tell, you know, the planes in the background, they're being masked, not masked, but mist. There's mist, obviously, in between the airplane and the guy taking the photograph. Obviously, he's taking it inside his cockpit as well. There's that. But that is completely out of place. That sphere, I personally believe, is not physically there. I believe it's been added in. And that is not a shadow. That's supposed to be a Fresnel effect. But again, it would not be casting that kind of a shadow or a Fresnel effect if it was physically there. The same with the shadowing. It wouldn't be so acute on something 1 meter in diameter with a spherical shape. It just wouldn't. The shadowing at best would be almost close to the side of it right there. That's what the shadowing would look like if it was physically there. Now, when it comes to the video, like I said, the video is the only thing that exists of this entire escapade of the Manchester UFO. But even the video has issues, right? So this is the video from inside the cockpit. Like I said, we've already watched it, but I'm going to go over some stuff. Now, this is when he's taxied further down the taxiing runway. It's not on the runway, but it's the taxi runway. And the video starts looking up into the sky to something which absolutely does look like a blue spherical object. Now that could be anything. That could be absolutely anything. It could be a balloon, a lone balloon escaped from a party. It could be anything. It could be a drone, whatever. There's something physically there. The video, I believe, is real. All right, the video of him filming the orb or whatever is real, but there's an issue with the video which I don't know why it's there. So if we watch the video, so he zooms in on the object. You see those black marks are the bubbles on his cockpit screen. And he zooms back out and then pans down. But the problem is, for reasons I don't know, because I don't know why this would be there. As he zooms back out from the orb right there, there is a cut right there. There's a cut from there to there and continues to pan down. Now, I don't know why that cut is there. There's no reason whatsoever for that cut to be there. Whether the original person put the cut there for whatever reason, maybe he mentioned sensitive material, you know, whilst he was talking about the UFO with his planes. I don't know, right? But there is no reason for that cut when he's panning down back towards the planes on the taxi runway. There's no reason for that cut to be there. So I don't know if that orb in the sky wasn't there at all, and again, it's been added in post. You can do this, very easy to do that kind of thing. But yeah, there's a cut in that video for reasons. There's no reason to cut that video, that's what I'm saying. There is zero reason to cut that video. You can even use very small chatter in the background. Maybe a sensitive information being said on that chatter, but it's so quiet you can barely hear it anyway. But there is zero reason for that cut to be in that video. And that's the only video which exists of that supposed UAP. So in closing, this photo, disregard that completely. That's an AI upscaled photo of the AI thinking what it should look like. This is the main photo which I see being bandied around UFO sites right now. Again, with this is completely AI upscaled photo. Disregard that photo if you ever see that one. That's AI upscaled. You can see the horns and everything. And the account of the original on Captain Beagle has since been deleted, but when I searched just now, there's been a second one created. Well, not created. This account is from August of 2024, so he's probably just changed the name on an account. Or maybe this is just completely random, another random person changing their account for whatever reason and just posting the same stuff, basically. But again, the only video which exists is looking up into the sky. So yeah, I believe it's completely doctored. I fully believe it's a hoax. That's just my opinion. That's not me debunking anything. But going on the photograph alone, the photograph doesn't add up. You can see issues with the image, which if it was a physical object there, those issues wouldn't be there. It's just going on my general expertise. Like I said, designing is part of my job when it comes to this kind of thing. But it's also just been a hobby of mine for over 30 odd years. I'm old now. What I want to add as well, the story with this Captain Bigelow guy, he said that there was no security. He said that his story, this is his story, right? That the orb hovered there for like a couple of seconds and then shot up into the sky. And then security came out, and that's when it shot up into the sky. But there's no record of this whatsoever in any airport. Now, if that did actually happen, that airport probably would have been shut down on the day for an entire day while they investigate that. They wouldn't have let the planes take off. They wouldn't have had planes landing at the airport. That's just not how airports work. That's just not how airports work. You look at the last couple of days when a load of drones went to Manchester Airport. All the planes were grounded for almost an entire day. Nobody was allowed to land. Nobody was allowed to take off. And that was just from a couple of man-made drones coming close to the airport. So if that orb was where it says it is, that airport would have been shut down. And there's no record of that airport being shut down anywhere near June or the last couple of times this year. That's why I believe it's a hoax. And this was posted about a day or two after the Manchester man-made drones near the airport. Now the drones, I don't know what they are. That's another story on its own. But that's when this popped up on Twitter and Reddit. So I believe it to be a hoax. As much as I want to believe UFOs and stuff, that is, in my opinion, utter bollocks. And that's my thoughts on the blue Manchester orb. What do you think? Do you think I'm being too skeptical again? Do you think that UFO has the exact same dimensions as my head? Let me know in the comments down below. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you like this video. Leave something new to my channel. I do this quite often. That's it. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.